So that day, I just wake up early in the morning, just eating my breakfast and scrolling on YouTube, and then I see this right here. And that catches me off guard, where I'm thinking I'm just having a fever dream. But nope, when I press it, this is what I just watched.
Castaways, we are castaways.
What's up, everybody? This is Willie, and today I want to talk about the Backyardigans Reboot, I should say, that was released back in the summer of 2024, which is almost a year ago at the time of this recording. And I know I'm making this video very late, but the merit to that is that I can make more of a bigger assessment because there's now been more releases of reboot videos ever since the first publication of it. So for this quick video, I want to make my in-depth assessment on how the reboot has been and how much I have been feeling about it since its release. So let's jump right into the story. So I think all of us Backyardigans fans were just spending our casual morning just browsing through YouTube, and then we see this video pop up on the official Backyardigans YouTube channel. For me, I was in denial that it was even real, but then it was, and I was just left unsettled by the video because I did not want this to be the sign of a potential Backyardigans reboot show, which, I mean, thankfully, it was just going to be for music videos, but still, even then, the quality felt like a massive downgrade from the original, which I would obviously prefer. And also, the songs they were playing are just going to be remixed versions of the original, which the tune of the remix just sounds abysmal, if you ask me. Obviously, I do always try to give an open mind to things, but this is one where, coming from someone who's a huge Backyardigans fan as a child and also had just made a 20-year review on the show just not too long before it was released, it definitely felt like the show was trying to give us superfans what we want by failing to appeal us in the way we wanted it to. And the whole video just being released so suddenly was just a blindside to the audience, considering there was no in advance knowledge that this thing was going to be released until it was posted just suddenly, and then we got more articles following up to it. So overall, my initial thoughts after watching the first post was that I was just not feeling any sort of attachment to the characters, both from a visual and quality standpoint. Where I might as well just dwell upon the fact that the animation of the characters was such a regression from the old model that us fans are more familiar with, where Pablo, Tyrone, and Uniqua just look nothing like the original at all. Also on top of that, it's only going to be the three of them, since I guess this reboot did not have enough budget, so they decided to neglect Austin and Tasha, which that part really stings for me the most, because those two characters bring such a sophisticated role to the OG that I felt like the neglect that they're getting with this reboot is just so out of touch. Which, to be fair, the trio of Pablo, Tyrone, and Niqua were the most notable coming from the OG, which, I'll be honest, their dynamic was very overused in the bulk of the episodes. But I feel like, unlike the reboot, the show took its time to add some different kind of relationships to further the interest of the later seasons. While here, the reboot does not do any of that, does not feature any of Austin or Tasha once in a music video at all, even when it should have been necessary in certain songs that involved them. They were just simply replaced, with one of the trio taking their place, and that's just what does it for me with this reboot that I just don't like the aspect of. So for some context, this music reboot series was made in honor of the recent passing of the original Backyardigans creator Janice Burgess, so I can understand the motivation to the production of this reboot, but in doing so, they choose to incorporate the modern tropes of animation into this reboot, which lessens the quality of it for more of the bigger fans of the show, since this reboot is mostly targeted for the modern generation of animation media. So now that I have said what I needed to say about my initial thoughts on it, we can now scroll through the times that they released more music videos moving forward, and for my thoughts on it after watching them, they just continues regressing over and over and over again. There's no improvement, and considering it's just the same three, it just makes it so repetitive and boring too. And I obviously said my piece that the remix of the songs were just absolutely abhorrent, and I do stand by it because I can't grow myself to attach to them at all. I mean, one of the songs were almost close to being good, which was The Call of the Mermaid, and the remix wasn't as bad as it could. I was like, oh, maybe it's going to step in the right direction, but then this is what happens.
It's a little bit alarming, but also very charming.
Yeah, no. So for a little bit of timeline, we did start off with the Castaways video, then it was followed up by the International Super Side, which, whatever. But then we get to Into the Thick of It, where I did earlier mention about one of Tasha or Austin being necessary for a music video and just being completely neglected from it. Well, here it is, because in the original Into the Thick of It song, Austin was involved in it, but instead, the reboot decided not to feature him at all, and he was just erased like that. And the same thing applies for Tasha's sake when it comes to the Rockabilly Lullaby, because Tasha plays a mermaid in the original episode, but Reboot just don't care about her, so Uniqua takes her place, which that is just disappointing. So you get the idea that this is where oversight is factored in, and we just get an unfortunate disregard to Austin and Tasha's roles in certain songs they're supposed to be a part of. So yeah, afterwards, other songs were just blah to me, and I don't even bother putting care much into them because they're just not made for the appetite I would want from them. So yeah. Now, before I want to end off the video, I don't want to leave this on a very negative tone, so I want to bring a bit of a positive atmosphere of reflecting on the OG show, the one that we grew up with, which I think was just amazing. And no matter how abysmal the reboot is, it's not going to ruin any of my love for the Backyardigans in general, because the original still gives us the greatest quality of television that has shaped all of our childhoods and has brought the nostalgia that we would want. And I do feel blessed with Janice Berger's work with making this show, because it was what propelled the good television Nickelodeon had back then compared to now. So there you have it. I'm not a huge fan for the reboot, and really after seeing it, it makes me not want one anymore, considering I don't want the Backyardigans legacy to be tarnished by a modernized variation of it. So with that wraps up everything I have to briefly talk about this Backyardigans reboot series, and I do appreciate every one of you tuning in to watch me elaborate on this topic, and I will make more cartoon review related content later on in this channel. So thank you, and I'll see all of you in another video.